And we are live. Greetings and salutations, Focuz Up family. Welcome to the July 8th, 2023 installment of the Focuz Up Show. We thank you for tuning in with us live every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. on YouTube and various other platforms, or catching up with us on replay. We ask that you click that like, that subscribe, that bell, and share to support and maintain your weekly Focuz Up fix. I am Mr. Nice Guy, nice as in the word saint spelled backwards. And today, my special co-hosts are Nidra from gobealive.org. We got Victor Freeman, author of the book Bowen, available on Amazon and various other platforms, and infamous El Poo. Now, we're down a few soldiers today. Walk, Floyd X, and First Lady J, they're all in Miami partying, celebrating Brother Floyd X's birthday. So, we send out a happy birthday shout out to the brother that basically runs the whole show. So salute to you, Brother Floyd X, and salute to our people that are not here for the show. But let's get into it. So how are you doing, Nidra? Thank you very much for coming on to the show today.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm doing well. I'm just excited to be here. This is actually my first time being interviewed for Go Be Alive. So thank you so much. I appreciate the honor.
Oh, thank you very much. Hey, the honey, like I said, I eat it pretty much every day. So, hey, brother Victor Freeman, Vic, what is going on with you, brother? How are you doing today?
I'm doing well, my brother. Just enjoying pretty nice weather here. I'm actually out of Chicago. I'm probably the only person that's not
Chicago
on the West Coast. Yes.
And infamous El Poo, what's going on with you, bro?
I'm doing well. I just want to say good morning to everybody, and thanks to our special guest host today, Nidra, and the vigilante over there. I'm not going to piss him off. So yeah,
that's right.
Good, bro. It's a fraternity name. It's a fraternity. I'm a member of the greatest fraternity, Omega Psi Phi.
Oh, all right.
Okay.
You got the Greeks in the house. Oh yeah, one more thing too. Shout out to Floyd X, and I think Jay Walk's birthday is Mr. Walk's birthday is coming up too. So somewhere around there. So,
that's right. Hey, shout out to Walk. I give him a lot of crap on the show. He gives me a lot of crap on the show. But anyway, happy birthday to my brother. I love him just the same. But let's get right into it. In the news, So our first topic, we're going to talk about the lovely Miss Keke Palmer. Now, I'm assuming that everybody pretty much knows about what the situation is. She went to an Usher concert. She was dressing, I suppose, what some people would consider a little risque. And she was having a whole lot of fun dancing up on Usher. And her baby daddy kind of felt some kind of way about how she was dressed and perhaps how she was acting. And he went on Twitter and basically commented like, look, your mother, that outfit. And he got dragged. And, that probably wasn't the format to be sitting there, talking about your baby mama.
Right.
But he did it. He probably had some grounds to complain, but suffice it to say that happened, and kind of that's the situation. So how do you feel about that situation, Nidra?
So from a woman's perspective, like I was saying earlier, of course, if I'm in a relationship, I'm going to care about what my mate thinks. So I would just ask that it wouldn't be something that you would publicly put out there, but something we can talk about when I get back to the house. Because of course I want to respect how he feels about, something I may have on. But again, let's privately talk about it as opposed to just putting it out there in the public for everybody to have their opinion about it. So that's just kind of how I see it.
For real, what you got to say about that, Vic?
Yeah, I would agree with Nidra. I mean, there's a generation gap. I would say, with our generation and just like the new generation about how they put things out there versus like how we would handle it. I do agree. Being in a relationship, you should take in consideration. I've never been with a woman and we went to some sort of event and we've been together and I didn't have some sort of inkling as to what she was going to be wearing, or she wouldn't just reach out to me and go like, "Hey, is this something nice or whatever?" How do I look? That's the $1 million question we as men always get from my ladies. She's like how do I look in this dress? Do I look so and so or whatever? Sometimes we may think, maybe you shouldn't wear that dress, and or like, oh yeah, you look fantastic or whatever. So to not have that as celebrities, chances are that may not be the situation because you may be on one coast and they may be on the next coast and y'all kind of meet up. So I could see him having issues about what she's wearing and being in the moment, taking it a little bit far. But I do have issue with him addressing it via Twitter. And that's why I think there's the generation gap because how we would handle it is just, behind closed doors. Like, I really wasn't feeling what you just did right there. That's inappropriate. We got kids, you're in the public eye. I'm in the public eye. You grinding up on OSHA. You already know what his reputation is. He knocking down females, and you playing right into it.
Yeah, don't he got something? Not to be gossiping, but
exactly. It's a bad look.
Yeah.
What you got to say about that, El Poo?
We're gonna have to have damage control because of this. Yeah. He would have been put in a better perspective in that situation than what he did put it in Twitter because no one would have known that he had the conversation, other than the fact that she would have had known that he had his disapproval of what she was wearing, and maybe that would change it for her and stating like what I did here wasn't right.
Yeah, I got you. What you got to say about that, El Poo?
Well, you know me. I'm always taking a different perspective on everything. So I blame Usher.
You said you blame Usher.
I blame Usher. Usher has that effect on women. Didn't you see the Boondocks? Obviously, he's seen the Boondocks. That's what happened. So he saw the Boondocks. He got all jealous and everything. And but seriously, if you met a woman and she was dressed provocatively, don't get mad at her for going out and dressing provocatively after she got with you. This is what she did when you met her. Yeah. I'm not saying this is the case, but she's a public figure, and I didn't see her dress provocatively before I knew about him. I don't know if he was around or not, but this is where it is. But the real thing is, you don't take your dirty laundry and air it out on social media.
Yeah.
That's the big problem. And we're gonna get more into that later.
Yeah, that's all tie in. That's all gonna tie into what we're talking about. But yeah, that's
social media. Social media is the great equalizer these days, I guess.
Yeah,
or the great divider.
No, I agree. I agree with that perspective. Like, is she like brand new? Is this something that have I seen Keke Palmer, dressing provocatively prior? Yeah, absolutely. I'm talking, and I think all four of us hit on that. Is just the fact that he took it and made it publicly.
Right.
like let's talk about that. If you don't want to change, then that's fine. Maybe you and I don't need to be together. Because I figured maybe you tone it down a bit. And she means like, well, this is how you met me, B. I'm not changing nothing, and that's fine. We gotta go. He looked really feminine, in my opinion, just taking it like that, and just making himself look really weak.
Yeah.
Without addressing his woman behind closed doors where it needed to be.
It's like them two being out in the streets arguing and then telling people, "Don't be in my business."
Right, 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 right,
Perfect.
right.
So now, on that same note, we talk about people kind of coming out or kind of doing a lot. I'm gonna bring up this picture.
Wait,
She
hold
did
on.
it publicly. We got walked. She did it publicly, so he checked to that ass publicly.
Walk always.
Yeah.
Opinion.
That's an interesting point, man. I'm gonna give you that. That's a good point there. But come on, man. Just be better. Just because it's not always tit for tat. Sometimes you got to be strategic and be better. But check. Hey, the bottom line is he got dragged for this. He deleted all that stuff. So I don't think that he feels like he handled it the right way, or at least the most productive way. So,
I don't care if he deleted it or not. It's out there already.
Oh, it's already done.
Once it's there,
Right.
Yeah.
You can't unring that bell. So, but we talk about Tracy Ellis now. Tracy Ellis Ross. Now, this is a beautiful together Black woman. All of her energy is always positive. She's just is pretty much everything a dignified person. And then we see these pictures. And, I'm not judging her about it. I mean, to me, I think that people are generally uptight about the human body. The human body is natural. We all have it. We all naked under our clothes, so we probably shouldn't be all sort of like in our feelings about it. But, the question is this for everybody? You need to be sharing this with everybody. Is you doing it too much? How you feel about that, Nitra?
I don't know. That's a hard one. Like you said, she, her persona has been one way, very classy lady. So like you said, like if this is where she's at in life and she feels free enough to, do that, then I say, hey, why not? If that's where she's at.
No,
I wouldn't personally do it, but if that's where she's at in life. More power to her.
What you got to say about that, Vic?
I dig it. I dig it for a variety of reasons. I like Tracy, just like her entire vibe and just how she's handled and conducted herself. Plus, she's a beautiful woman, 50 plus, and I think it's very inspiring to see a woman that's confident in herself to really just kind of show off her body, so to say, as being like, hey, I'm very proud of this is where I'm at, flaws and everything, that there's nothing more vulnerable as being, unclothed, so to say. And I don't think it was distasteful. There's a lot of ways that it could have been done, maybe looking distasteful, twerking or just, I don't think it was gratuitous for the sake of being gratuitous. I guess that's my point.
I hear what you're saying. What you got to say about that, El Poo?
I have a problem with the picture. The problem is she covering them up. You let it go. Let's see it. See what's going on, Yeah, I'm a firm believer in women saying we gotta use what we got to get what we want. That's what I'm
Well, then I guess you might have an issue with our sister Janelle Monet, who kind of basically did the same thing. This is a person that was pretty kind of all tucked up and tight roped, and then she just kind of snapped. I remember on May 11th, she put that Twitter out there post where she said, "Titties out for the next 15 years," and you know what? She's embracing it, and I guess it's basically the same thing. Look, this is another woman who really conducts herself in a sort of like positive, strong. She probably doesn't like to be identified as woman. I believe she calls herself non-binary. But the bottom line is, as a positive person, a strong, powerful, beautiful person, and she's kind of going through that phase where it's like Janet's velvet rope type situation. So I mean, hey, let grown people be grown. I'm not here to judge.
Right.
Salute to that sister. So
Right.
is that basically your take on it, Nidra, or the same situation?
Definitely. she's at a place where she feels free enough to do it. So definitely.
Yeah.
Vic.
Yeah, we've seen this throughout, our life in terms of, pop superstars. Prince performing with his butt cheeks out. Doing the crazy stuff with, that she did, licking the floor and things like that. I think for Janae, it's just she's using her artistic expression. You could tell she's one of those people who just basically wants to be able to utilize what is given to her, and then maybe she's in the zone right now where shock value is something that she feels is very important to her branding, and in times it does create the buzz that you're looking for as an artist. So I'm not hating on it.
You know what?
It seems authentic. It seems authentic.
And I'll say this: she's taking a very political stance on this about you hiding my areola. So she, first of all, she likes women. So she likes looking at what she's looking at. She has what she's looking at. It's kind of a different type of situation, but she's definitely one of those people that's like freedom to express and show that. So she's not just like, hashing out or just trying to create a buzz. She's also, taking a political stance. So, I respect that. And I hear what she's going for. And El Poo, I bet you got the same criticism for her.
Yeah, let me say it like this. Let me put the picture back up. Don't be covering them up.
Like if you want to show them.
Stop playing.
Well, when she first started wilding out on Twitter, she wasn't covering them up. So I'm just letting you know that.
Right.
But let's go into the next news topic. What you got for us, LP?
We want to talk about this Britney Spears thing and
All right.
controversy, because it is a controversy. Go ahead and set it up though.
All right, I'll set the table. So Miss Britney Spears, she found herself within proximity to I apologize, I don't have the brother's last name, but it's another Victor. But he was the first draft, the first pick in the draft of the NBA draft that just occurred. The Spurs #1 overall pick, and he was walking away, and she decided, she saw him, and she, I guess she wanted to holler at him for something. So she walked up over him and she tapped on his shoulder, and then the security guard slapped. Now he says he slapped her hand, and then her hand ended up slapping her. And I was looking at the video, and it looked like he slapped her, but which is what she's claiming was the case. But this was a situation where, instead of just like, hey, whoa, that was kind of an overreaction, they kind of dug down and then tried to make an excuse. Well, she grabbed him by his shoulder, and it's like, look, I understand as a bodyguard, you don't know what crazy person is walking up. You pretty much have to control that every time, because this could be the one guy that's just going to stab somebody. But you know what you do is you just, first of all, you don't even let her get up that close to even walk. That was a failure right there. But then you just kind of just put your hands away and just like, hey, whoa. That's what you do. But it's not okay to slap a woman. It's not okay to just slap a person. So, there's that's kind of my take on this whole situation. I mean, she's been pretty decent about it, because seems to be really going after them. And she's saying that, look, I got bodyguards, I deal with this stuff too. But, that was a little bit extra. What you got to say about that, Nidra?
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely extra. These are situations that, they're being trained for and should be prepared for. So you just got to be ready, and the reaction shouldn't be something that's an overkill when the situation arises. And to me, it was just an overkill, unfortunately. So,
what you got to say about that, Victor?
I'm looking at it from the perspective of the security detail and what that job entails. This guy, he's new in a lot of ways to just celebrity. His name's Victor Wembanyama. So he's this is probably new for him in the extent that as a college player you get certain celebrity, but now as an NBA, it takes an entirely different dynamic, so to say. And he's probably getting these situations where people are just invading your space on a regular basis. And just think about that, because we're not celebrities, but if constantly people are just kind of approaching you, invading your space, and then if you're in a crowded area, that's more likely to happen. Who out of us has not been in a crowded area and somebody, touches you or bumps into you, in such a way, much less being a celebrity where people are after you. The security person, and I saw the video. It's hard to, in my opinion, completely interpret everything, but his idea is, I couldn't see like him seeing her and like, oh, this is Britney Spears, I shouldn't, protect my client. It just, in his mind, it just could have been anybody. You're reaching out to this person, and I need to make sure you back away. Now, I probably registered in his head later, but in that moment, that's not what he was thinking. He had a job to do and make sure that his client is protected. So that is my prevailing thought in just watching this. But he's going to receive all the negative publicity, because who cares about the security guard?
Right.
Even though he didn't do it.
What you got to say about that, Pooh?
Well, first of all, before I even go there, let me put up this comment that Walk did make a few minutes ago. Could you imagine Diane Carroll or Eartha Kitt doing at 50 what Tracy Ross did?
What Eartha Kitt did?
We wouldn't want to either.
Hey, did you see Eartha Kitt and Boomerang?
Right.
Yeah. She could have kept that too. But, as far as Britney Spears goes, Britney hasn't had no limelight in a while, and she's just a average Karen at this point. Seriously, don't come behind a black man and tap him on the shoulder. Things might happen.
There might have been some privilege in her thinking that was okay, and especially as a celebrity has dealt with a lot of that craziness. But
all Karens think they have that privilege, bro.
And again, I think that she's probably been handling this pretty decently. She hasn't really been going after him. I mean, she did kind of like blow up at the time, like she like yelled or something like, "This is effing America," something like that. But I think she was basically saying like, you just don't go hitting on people like that. But I'm sure that dude is out there. We don't have the clip, but that dude is out there telling you leave Britney alone. You know what I'm saying? So that's that. Let's go on to the next thing.
What you want to go on to right now, bro?
Let's talk about you know what? Let's talk about the ladies that got in trouble with there was another white girl situation, but it was that white girl, that cocaine. So this is these two social media personalities. It's Raquel Dolores Antiola and Melissa Dufour. One of them's a singer, one of them is a fitness person, and bottom line is that they got pulled over and their vehicle had lots and lots of cocaine and all type of compartments and stuff like that. So they're looking at a minimum of 10 years. So when we talk a little bit later about the social media being the new streets, the streets is still the streets, and you need to kind of keep those things separate. But that's that situation. So I don't know if there's too much to comment about it, but go ahead. What about to say?
Yes, I was getting ready to say you're the only one that got. We ain't even got a header for this because nobody knows.
Well, it was some of the information I sent in the pre-docket. Yeah. But the bottom line is, as you and I, as we are on a much more minor level, social media figures, this is our own get caught doing some stuff. So we always talk about how them rappers like, look, if you doing your street stuff on the streets and then you become a rapper, now you need to just be a rapper and leave that street stuff alone. Well, that's the same thing. You on the social media, you doing your social media thing. They both had a pretty strong following in both of what they do. Stay in that lane. But I'm not, that their life is their life to judge, and I don't know if they're pressured. I don't know all the details about it. But the bottom line is they're looking at a minimum of 10 years each. So
wow.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
And we're talking about that white girl. The White House got caught with some white girl. So
Yeah.
So yeah, some mysterious powder showed up, and they were, they're always worried about it, whether it's anthrax or something like that. And it was that a lot of speculation about whose it belongs to. Hunter Biden pretty much basically whatever is bad, he's gonna catch the flack for it. So the Republicans, Fox News, and all of this stuff, they're pretty like, yo, man, he left this stash out there. In all fairness, it was in an area that it's heavily toured in traffic. So you would think that you couldn't even got in there without going through some type of like scanning and stuff like that. So it's kind of a week out to try to blame it on maybe someone you were showing a tour to, because I'm guessing, you go to the courthouse, you go to whatever, you go on an airplane, there's a lot of screening before you even get in there. So
right.
I don't know. So somebody left something somewhere. So, what you got to say about that, Nidra?
I don't know. I mean, so maybe not everybody's being screened to get in, because I don't know how it would, get through all the security. I don't really know.
And the thing about it is, if it was like somebody else's, you would think that there wouldn't have been a big analyze. Hey, what is this? Now we gotta secure everybody and do an analysis on this type of thing, as opposed to like, that's mine. Whatever. But what you got to say about that, Vic?
I mean, you touched on it just from a conservative standpoint, a Republican standpoint. They're going to hold on to anything that can be negatively shown in this administration. But to me, Hunter Biden is just symbolic of that black sheep that we all have in our family, where it's just like, that's Aunt, Jessica, or that's Uncle Ricky. That's the way he is. And if people look at that person in our family as the representation of the entire family, well, you're going to get it wrong. And that person is liable to do something inappropriate. We know, because we didn't experience the fact that this person has been that person in our family our entire life, much less the brother of somebody who's in the White House. So chances are he was able to slip through security and such because of the fact that he has that relation to the president. So it's not surprising to me. It's not surprising these things that are uncovered and dug up about him, because he's reckless. But just like having that family member, whether it's an uncle or a brother or a sister, whoever, does that truly reflect on you per se? With family, sometimes you're going to be guilty by association, just from that standpoint. But
that's a great point, though. That's a great point, because it's like it's always that one, and so it's just right. That's what it is. What you got to say about that, El Pooh?
What I got to say is the truth.
Set you free.
Cocaine has been in the White House since the White House has been built. Come on now.
All right.
I hear you, bro.
And whoever found it obviously didn't smoke cocaine or use cocaine, because anybody that uses cocaine would have knew what it was and wouldn't have told nobody nothing. It would have been like, I came up.
Point blank period. That's what it is. That's what it is. So next in the news topic. You know what? Let's talk about this Philadelphia shooting type situation. So the Philadelphia shooter, this dude, so I believe he killed 5 people, and there was a there you go, killed 5, injured 2, and this was a person who decided, like, he felt like his excuse was, he said he was cleaning up the neighborhood. This was a person who had internet posts, talking about, they're taking away our guns, and he was actually leaning more into sort of like the Fox crowd, but notwithstanding, Marjorie Taylor Greene, I always mess up her name, and maybe that's what it is, but she's basically took this opportunity to say another trans shooting. And one thing that white people don't want to be doing is talking about another such and such shooting, because most of these shootings are white people. So that is not the tree to be shaking. But it's a sad thing. That's the thing about these guns. And this was not a gun that he got through the regular means. This is one of those ghost guns. So basically, it's just a gun where you just buy the pieces and you put it together, and now you don't even have to scratch off the serial. So, that's what's kind of going on. What you got to say about that, Victor?
Yeah, senseless killings are just, I look at that like senseless killings. And if you grew up, especially in the projects, like I did, unfortunately, these type of things occur. If anything, trying to get to the root of why that occurs. And sometimes, unfortunately, it's really senseless, and to kill 5 and 2, injure 2 people for really no logical reason. I think that's the root of all this, of really trying to understand why would somebody do that. And his explanation was, well, he's looking to clean up the neighborhood. Well, you could start with yourself first.
Amen. What you got to say about that, Nidra? Your mic is muted, just so you know. I think you muted it. There you go.
Oh, okay.
That's why I went to Vic first.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I mean, I agree with what Victor said. And it's, unfortunately, a lot of mental health issues as well that we're dealing with right now. And social media doesn't help the situation, because a lot of things that are being done today are put out there and then people just feed off of it. And there's a lot of copycat behavior that's happening as well. So it's just unfortunate for these events to keep happening.
That's right. El Poo, what you got to say, bro?
It's not really much I can really add to that, because everything has been said. It's really sad. It's unfortunate. It's I guess having guns is a problem, but we need to protect ourselves obviously. But these people talking about, well, him in particular talking about cleaning up the neighborhood. Dude, get a broom. Neighborhood. I mean, you don't have to, you listen, taking a gun and being violent is not cleaning up the neighborhood. And that was a bad excuse. And I hope they hang his ass and give him the death penalty or whatever they're going to give him, because he deserves it. Shooting, because the problem is, it wasn't like he was shooting for anybody. He was just indiscriminately just spraying anybody. Black, white, dog, cat, whoever. Right. I heard a car was passing by with a young lady driving with a couple of kids, and both the kids got hit too. Mm-hmm. That's sad.
Yeah, it is. That's what that is. But I guess we're at a point that we probably want to get into the shout outs. After we do that, we're gonna have Neat to speak on Go Be Alive and Honey. But first let's do the shout outs. So I don't know if you're gonna run the commercials or you want me just to give those shout outs.
Let's start off with La Brea Trucking, bro. I run the commercial.
Yeah. For all your cross-country transporting needs. And, while you're pulling up the next one, we always shout out La Homie Ways Car Club, JC, founder of Focuz Up. So, shout out to them. Shout out to Wakusu, Wake Up, Clean Up, Stand Up. And shout out to Buddy Bud. And we got GoBeAlive.org. She's going to speak on it too. But you got another commercial for us queued up, Brother El Poo?
Yes, sir. We're going to go into Mr. Muhammad's Meats. Pause.
That's all right. We also shout out Kilo 2 Music.
And also we want to shout out to Toppy Woppy. Let's throw him up here.
I'm from the city of Compton, Where you want to get your puss? Light green and fluffy, sticky, smelly, and lovely. Got that powder too. You know what it do. Caribbean flavor, sit still in my plate. Bust do what they can.
Wabi available on all musical platforms. And also, I think we want to go ahead and just shout out Sex Talk with Walk every few Thursdays, Thursday 9 p.m. Focus Up Network.
Yeah, that's right. Whenever he feels like it, you know what I'm saying?
And no shameless, well, we got to do some shameless self-promotion here too.
That's right, and we appreciate you watching. So click that like, subscribe, hit that bell, share, support and maintain.
And one more thing, one more. And EP3 Productions is coming online with y'all real soon. We'll give you more details later. Go ahead now.
That's right. Can't wait for that. So let's talk to Nidra. Thank you very much for coming on the show today.
Thank you.
We want to hear about this whole honey situation. This Go Be Alive. Let us know what's going on, sister.
All right. Thank you so much again for having me today. So I am the CEO founder of Go Be Alive Raw Honey. I sell raw honey as well as bee pollen. And I'm often asked, how did I get into the business? I first got into the business because I was having some health challenges, and which caused me to have severe fatigue. And so I was looking for something that would help me with my energy levels. And somebody told me about the bee pollen. Bee pollen is considered a superfood. So it has a number of properties in it. It has minerals, vitamins, enzymes, and it has over 40% of digestible protein. So those of you who are familiar with, well, everybody knows Muhammad Ali, float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. He was an avid partaker of bee pollen. That was part of his diet. And so it does help with energy. And, once I started taking it and I noticed a difference in my energy levels, I decided that I wanted to sell it because I wanted to get the word out there and just let people know what this superfood was all about and how it can help you with your different ailments. So I started selling it. I was doing really well with it. And I connected with a beekeeper. And he said, hey, you're doing so well with the bee pollen. Why don't you sell some of the honey? And so I said, okay, let's do it. So that's how I got started with selling the honey and the bee pollen. And so right now I have 4 different flavors that I sell. I have the orange blossom, which is this right here. This is my 16 ounce. Orange blossom is one of the sweetest honeys that you can have. It has a lot of vitamin C in it. Really good for colds, sore throats, flus. It has a calming effect on you. So those of you who may have some issues with anxiety or mild depression, it really helps just kind of bring, that feeling of calmness. And again, it's good in your on your toast, in your tea, waffles, ice cream, yogurt. So most of my customers have tried just about all of my honeys. And once they find one that they like, that's the one they usually go with. So I have customers who only buy the orange blossom. And then I have the sage honey. Sage is actually my favorite. It is also my number one seller, and it comes from the sage herb. So all of the um, honey is, from different flowers or plants. So the bees actually go to the nectar of the flower and bring back the honey to the hive. So all of my honey is straight from the beehive. It's unprocessed. There's no additives whatsoever. So when we say raw honey, that's what we mean, that it's straight from the beehive and nothing's been added. There's no syrup, there's no additives whatsoever. That's the unfortunate thing about the honey that's in the store, is that there are some additives, sometimes syrup. And then I have wildflower. Wildflower is considered a dark honey. It's which is good for you for those who suffer with allergies. Because of the pollen that's in here, this particular honey is from the different wildflowers that have been planted around the hives. And so you have a better chance of attacking your allergies because of the various pollen that's in here. It's a really good honey. It's probably the closest to what we find in the stores. Like if you buy clover honey, this would have a similar taste to clover honey. So again, for those, I have customers that only like their wildflower honey. And so this is also one of my best sellers as well. And then last but not least, this is avocado honey. Now, this is, as you can see, a much darker honey. And avocado honey is mainly found here in California and in Mexico, because we're huge on avocados. We eat a lot of avocados here in California. And so avocado honey is good in coffee, good on pancakes. If you're a biscuit eater, this would be a great honey to have. It does have kind of a molasses taste to it. So not everybody likes the avocado honey, but those who like it love it. When I was selling in the farmers markets before the pandemic hit, I was able to allow the customers to taste the honeys. And so there were those who, really loved the honey. And then there were those who were like, yeah, no, I'm good. Let me try something else. So it's not for everyone. And it is actually my least one that I sell. But I do have a couple of customers who only want the avocado honey. Avocado honey also can be used in various ways. It's also good for women who like to do facials. So you can put a teaspoon of avocado honey, cut up some cucumbers, because cucumbers are really good for your skin. Put a little olive oil and some oatmeal for roughage. You can make you a nice mask, put it on your face for about 20 minutes, and it helps moisturize your skin. So it can be used many different ways. And then also for those of you who like salmon. Salmon is one of my favorite foods. You can glaze your salmon in it. It's a really good glaze to have. You can use it in your barbecue sauce. You can teriyaki sauce. You can also glaze your vegetables in it. So one of the good things about the avocado honey is it works well as a glaze. So these are my 4 honeys that I sell. And, I've been working with some doctors who work with burn patients, because also one of the things that honey does is it helps to heal burn wounds. So there are some doctors who like to only use honey. And these are not medical doctors. These are some doctors that in Africa, actually, that have been working with honey to help their burn patients.
A more holistic approach.
I'm sorry?
I said a more holistic approach.
Yes, more holistic approach. Yes.
So in order, if we want to get some of this honey, we basically hit you up on the website, which is
GoBeAlive.org.
Go ahead. So gobealive.org.
Yes.
So yes, that's a lot of information. I will say that sage is my favorite. So that's what I rock with. So yeah, no. I definitely recommend it. It's one of the natural foods that don't necessitate killing. It does involve exploitation, but we all share the world. So the bottom line is those people that raise those bees, they tend to they have incentive to be respectful to those bees, to keep them producing that honey for them. But we should probably pivot on to is there anything else that you do? I mean, you really covered a lot of stuff. I learned a lot about honey there, because one of the things I found out about honey is that they're not doing stuff to make these different types of honey. It's just that they're pollinating different things, and it's that combination that's creating these variations of honey. So
Yes.
that's some good information. You look like you're about to say something, Victor.
Yeah, I had a question for you, Nidra. I was really fascinated by the wild flower honey that you have. I'm actually a person who suffers from seasonal allergies.
Yes.
Wanted to find out what was some of the therapeutic effects of actually using the wildflower, and also what's the recommended amount of teaspoons that you should take. Is it daily? Is it every once in a while? I'm just curious as to what that looks like, especially this is considered holistic medicine, correct?
Yes. So, like I was saying, the wildflower is, can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. The wildflower is, the wildflowers that have been planted around the hives, and it's the pollen that's in the nectar that is helping to build your immunity to the pollen that you're breathing in. So
Okay.
it acts almost like a flu shot would.
Okay.
It's helped building your immunity to the pollen that you're breathing in.
Okay.
So, you can take, I've had people take just a teaspoon and notice right away their allergies, clear up. So a teaspoon a day would do the trick. And if you feel like you need something maybe later on in the day, another teaspoon or a tablespoon would work as well. So
Okay.
it's pretty powerful.
Yeah, I want some of that too, because back in the day, we used to go to KFC and get those little take those, open them up, and put them on our blunts and make some little sweet sticky things.
Hey, I remember when Popeye. One thing I used to love about Popeyes is that they had real honey, and then they went to honey sauce. And I was like, yeah, nah. So I rock all my honey with that Go Be Alive honey. So that's my get down going forward, and I recommend that for everybody wholeheartedly, and it's good and great. So
that's gobealive.org.
gobealive.org. So now on to the next topic we want to talk about is social media, the new streets. El Pooh, do you want to start off with something about this? I mean, I can do it, but this is something I felt that was kind of near and dear to you. I saw a Facebook post.
Yeah, well, it's been a lot going on in social media these days. And I'm particularly talking about the streets when you talk about LA and gang banging, because gang banging is international now, with the Crips and Bloods and all that old stuff. But it used to be left in the streets in a sense, but everything is on the internet now. I mean, you got cats that's out here beefing with each other from the same hood, from different hoods, from different sects of the same hood or whatever the case is. I don't even know what's what nowadays. But gang banging social media is the new streets now. In fact, we was talking about people being afraid of, or something we were saying earlier about the internet. But one thing I can say is, I remember when people used to be afraid to go outside to get robbed. Now you can go on the internet and get robbed.
Yes.
Anything that happens on the streets happens on the internet these days, but particularly things like beefs and even the Janelle Monáe and all that old type of stuff that should be kept at home or in different arenas are taken to the internet. Everybody's problems go on the internet.
Yep.
Everything. And it's really shameful because it's like, look, I think the brother right here was saying earlier when he was talking to somebody and got into a little confrontation with him and was like, where's this dude at? This dude is in a basement somewhere hiding, and he's safe. He's
Right.
3,000 miles away. You cannot
Right.
touch him. But this is what the internet has turned into. It's turned into the WWF of the world today.
Yeah.
When I was like, I don't say I was naive, but I may not have had as much of a concept of how racist things were.
Yeah.
It wasn't until I started going to the comment section of articles that I was really reminded where the world really is, because that's where people, there's no filter, they're super tough, protected with their anonymous anonymity, and I mean they go hard. So I mean it's kind of a shit. I look, I want you to be honest. I'm glad that you're letting me know exactly where you're coming from.
Right.
But it's basically an opportunity and a chance to bully people and just be hostile and just be nasty and snarky and it's just a lot of ugliness that's easily at your fingers, and you can do it all safe from your home. So
Yeah.
that's where it is. But these cats is doing this social. We talk about bringing the streets to the social media, to the new streets. These dudes are like doing crimes and then bragging about them.
Right.
Snitching on themselves. They're actually doing the crimes on the internet. I remember that you have to go to a library in order to do a book report, and these kids know nothing about that. They have way better than you'd have like maybe one family that had like a set of encyclopedia, and everybody go over there and borrow that person's stuff when the libraries were closed, and now you just have pretty much everything at your fingertips. So,
yeah.
This generation knows nothing about that, but they have no type of control or sense about it. So what do you have to say about that, Nitra?
Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate, but as far as AI is concerned, like you said, you put in a couple words and it will literally write up your whole report. So, or anything you need, business plan, whatever. I mean, of course, there's always positive to it, but then, it's the negative part as well. And so, I don't know. I just hope that it doesn't affect them in the long run.
Victor?
Yes. So is social media the streets right now? I would say no, because of the fact that the streets are very unkind, but it is a false sense of reality and also comfortability that this new generation has. Brother Poole was talking about, just on the West Coast in terms of the gang violence, and I came up in New York. We didn't have gang violence, but we had crews, and there was a code to how you conducted yourself. If you really didn't take it beyond the beef that you may have had with the person for whatever that reason may be. Now, social media has made it that you can say and portray yourself in a light that in person, when we were coming up, if you said something that was triggering, we got to fight. We absolutely got to fight. And I know the brothers here all can understand that. To say it's something that just is really off-putting online, they have the comfort of knowing, like, I can say this to somebody that I know that I will never see. But here's the thing why I'm making a statement that social media and the streets is not one and the same, because in the event of, if I was to ever run into somebody that really had something to say online, and surprise, now I'm in your face, they're going to see it that the streets and online is completely a different story. I'm going to leave it at that.
We call that social media receipts.
Yeah, exactly.
But you're real with it though. But I know cats, I ain't gonna say no names, but it's a couple of cats on the internet right now beefing, and they probably live a few blocks away from each other.
Yeah, right.
But they get on these on IG and YouTube, and they just talk about pull up. Hey. I ain't doing
Yeah.
nothing.
But sometimes they do pull up.
Yeah. There's a lot of people dying behind this type of stuff.
Yeah.
So, that's
Yeah.
true. They pull up. They not even necessarily have to pull up. They just see where you are and they go get you. So,
Yeah.
But also,
Kind of-
no pun intended, you also got these people like the Beehive, Beyonce's little crew.
Right.
You say anything bad about Beyonce, the Beehive is coming at you. They might
Oh
cancel.
yeah. Oh yeah.
tough. So yeah, no,
That's-
and these cats get in trouble with that type of stuff, and they can go after you. They can create all type of problems for you. Especially if you're talking about hacking somebody. So I mean, it's just a lot. You got to be careful with all of this stuff. You got to be careful with your what they call that your Zells and your Cash Apps and stuff like that. It's like we try to pay people. Street vendors, don't hand them your phone, because what they'll do is they'll put in a different amount than what they tell you, and you won't find out till later that you didn't got wiped out or something like that. But
Oh, that's good to know.
yeah, that's
good
it.
to know.
That's
I
the
never
hustle.
thought about that before.
That's the hustle. They go, yeah, I'll put it in for you. What they do is then, because they call them water boys. I forgot what this was done in. I think it was in Atlanta, and they're just basically like how people would sell oranges. I don't even know if they do that anymore, but back in our day, they used to sell oranges a lot on the street. They have like in Atlanta or something like that, they have the water boys, and what they would do is like they Cash App them. They say, here, give it to me, I'll put it in, and then next thing you know, they pulled out like $1,000 out of your account, and now it's just gone. So you talk about expensive
And
water.
I've done that before. I've handed a vendor my phone before, so thank God that didn't happen.
So now don't ever do that. Don't ever do that. See, sometimes we give out some good information, that and the honey. So we're coming to the end of the show. So I just want to say thank you very much, Nidra. Thank you very much, Victor, for coming on and filling out and sharing some good information about all of the stuff, putting in some good input. And and hopefully people understand, look, there's real people out there. It's not just someone on the screen. It's not just someone on the other side of some email, someone on the other side of some social media. These are still people. So, conduct yourself accordingly.
Yeah.
And don't be woofing too much, because like Victor say, you just might bump into them and they might have that memory. So, So salute. Thanks a lot. And, and go get you some of that good honey. That's gobealive.org.
Yes,
So
and you can check me out. Yes, please. And you can check me out on Instagram on Go Be Alive.
Word. Hey, and also on that note, go check out Bowen. It's a great story. It's a great story of Victor's upbringing, a coming of age, but it's some real information. We're dealing with some, obviously real stuff that he went through. But again, this is the dude that grew up with the Wu-Tang. So, there's some intersection in there. So
where can we find this at, though?
Yes.
It's on Amazon, and you can find it also on Barnes and Nobles as well. It's the Wu-Tang is in it, but it's not a Wu-Tang story.
Yeah, it's not a Wu-Tang.
It's because of the fact that I grew up in the same projects as Method Man, U-God, Inspector Deck.
Was that Stapleton or the other one?
See, Ghostface is the only one that's from Stapleton. That's a rival project. But
I don't know nothing about either one.
No, it's all right. But but it's my story from the age of 2 to about 18.
Yes,
and some of the things that I endured, and how I was basically able to make lemonade out of lemons. Right. So if you like an underdog story,
he does not pull any punches. You read that story, I mean, it's all beautiful and great, but I'm sure there's some family members that feel some type of way about that. Bowen, Bowen, which was the name of
the street. Yeah, the street that I grew up. 55 Bowen.
55.
Okay, check it out.
You get on Amazon and your various other book purchasing opportunities. So yes, that'll conclude.
Thanks, I appreciate
July 8th. Hey, thank you for the read. I was captured the whole time, so that's for real.
Hey, and rest in peace, ODB too. One more time.
Hey, you know what? Wait. There's one thing we didn't speak about. Speaking about rest in peace. Rest in peace to Mutula Shakur, Tupac's stepfather. So you got this dude that, who's Black Panther, rah, rah, rah. He was still part of his life, a positive influence. And, sadly, this brother, I think he was only out of jail for like, I think 7 months or 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
And then, passed away. So, I mean, that's the thing about our lives. We're only here for a short moment, but it's what you do with your moments. So,
Yes.
Yep. Yes, indeed.
So salute, family. Thank you very much for
All
being
right.
on the show.
Thank you so much.
All right, people.
All right.
Like, share, and subscribe, y'all. We out.
Take
Cheers.
care.